Okay, welcome back. I'm so excited for this episode. It's our last episode for now on harmony. And last week we started talking about the metaphor of music, and I do want to jump back into there. I actually even got my son's permission to tell you a story and use his name. So, my older son, Elliot, is a senior in high school. And for 4 years, he has played the guitar. He started with intro to guitar as a freshman. And every year at the end of the school year, there is a guitar concert. And so we've watched from freshman, sophomore, junior, senior as this has all developed. And so this year, he played a number of, I don't know if you call them solos, because he certainly wasn't the only one playing, but he was the only one playing the main the main tune, the main jam, whatever it was. There were a lot of other accompanying and rhythm and bass and things like that. So in one of these, yes, there's a story here. In one of these songs, I think it was the song from the movie, or the tune from the movie Halloween, if you remember that from back in the 80s, the scary movie Halloween. So it was very haunting. It was beautiful, but it was haunting. And so Elliot's playing, and I'm like taking video. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. And then in the middle of his lead, his solo, there's like a wildly bad off note, just like whatever. Everybody could tell that it was not the right note to be playing. And so I looked up from my phone because I was taking video, and I looked at his face, and I looked up really fast, and I just caught a glimpse of his face, like whoa, like he recognized it, but almost like he didn't miss a beat. He just jumped right back in there, and somebody else might have been questioning, like, oh, is that a wrong note? Oh, I guess not, because it was like so quick. So that I just was so inspired by, because I know, for me, when if I were to play a wrong note, like when I played wrong notes in my back in middle school when I was playing the clarinet, I would get all flustered and I would fumble around, and it would be, instead of like a missed note, it would be a missed almost line of music, like a few measures there where I was like fumbling around. And so that's what I really want to highlight here, is there's another piece to this whole harmony, because we're all going to make mistakes. We have and we will. So please, let's not stress about that. We just know that things are going to happen, and we're going to realize oops, I wish I could do that over again right now. A mistake. But if we bring, and this is the quality that I want to highlight here, what Elliot really had, he was relaxed about it, and he was allowing of whatever was happening. He wasn't all tight and constricted and contracted around, oh, this has to be a certain way, and if it's not a certain way, like everyone will think this of me, and I'm so tied in to what everyone thinks of me. He was loose, and he was allowing, and he was doing his best, and he flubbed up a note and he got right back in there. So that element of being allowing, it's hard to be allowing when you're really tight and when you have some very specific expectations. How are you going to allow anything else, right? So that allowing almost requires an element of relaxation. And relaxation either can come first, and certainly, if you just woke up, or if you've been meditating, hopefully the relaxation and that nice relaxed state is already there. But it's also something that we can cultivate and that we can check in with. And, not that we're going to turn into like a relaxed, pile of goo when like 5 seconds ago we were almost steaming hot, ready to blow. No. But by last time we talked about bringing awareness to our internal state, and I'm just going to add in there. And so you bring awareness, you can do like a body scan, like where am I holding some tension in my body right now? And if I do that with you right this moment, and I invite you, if you're not driving, to close your eyes. And if you're sitting, standing, lying down, it doesn't matter. Just do a little body scan. Where am I holding some tension right now? For me, I can feel it in my upper shoulder over here, kind of like upper back, middle of right shoulder a little bit. And then what we can do is, in a moment when we're doing this process, we can send a little bit of breath there. So wherever you found that was holding some tension, take an inhale and send the breath to that spot. Inhaling maybe through your nose, and then exhaling through your mouth. And then if you can, move that area a little bit. So moving my shoulders. Actually, this is my second take of this episode. So in the first take when I did it, it was my pelvis. So some pelvic circles, or whatever you can do to move that area, or maybe give a little bit of massage. So just to relax. And that relaxation can just provide maybe a tiny little bit more opening. And last time we also talked about a question, right? So you can bring the internal awareness, you can bring the breath and relax, do that body scan, and then you can ask the question, or you can do any one of these is good to do. But if you're doing them together, that's probably the order that just flows, right? Like bring some awareness internally, relax, send some breath, and then ask a question. What else might I be able to get from this situation? What am I missing here? Okay, so I love that Elliot was able to bring that wonderful little moment where he heard it, but he was relaxed, and then he got right back into the integrated flow. And I'm going to share another example actually before I sign off today. And it's an example of me, and I didn't quite get back into integrated flow as quickly as my son did, but it's an example from our family meeting a few weeks back. And my husband, Bob, brought an item to family meeting. He usually is the first one awake in the morning. And so we had gotten into a pattern where he would come downstairs and there would be like a bunch of dirty dishes and plenty of capacity in the dishwasher. Okay. So he brought an ask, and he was like, hey, can everybody just please either clean up your own dishes or empty the dishwasher and put them in, or just load the dishwasher with them, just so that there's not a pile of dirty dishes here when I get up in the morning. And I had this idea, right, that, okay, well, we needed to brainstorm solutions and we needed to go through a process here. So he started, that last sentence with, can we just? And so I thought, oh, let me run in here. Let me see if we have any other solutions. Let me brainstorm. And so I brought that, like, hey, let's think about this. And all three of them looked at me like, what else? What's there to think about here? I think we got this covered. And I went through my own process, right? I did like my little internal scan, like, oh, I'm clearly attached to something here. I have an expectation. Okay. I did not go for the relaxation. I didn't. I just bypassed that because I was pretty tight and I just really wanted this to be over. But I did ask a question. I said, "Oh, was everybody okay with the suggestion that Papa already made?" And both boys looked at me and they're like, "Yeah, we're good. We're done here." And then I just sort of went like, "Oh, okay. Pardon me. My mistake. It's all good. Well, we're on track here." So I want to give you that example. So that illustrates a lot of things, right? Like my own process, my own like very human experience, and just how fluid some of these suggestions, even though they might not sound fluid when you're listening, because I'm decomposing them and I'm explaining them, but they can show up if you practice them. They can show up. You can use them very fluidly, just like you pick up a pen and write your name. It's so you don't even think about it now, right? But back when you were preschool, like it was a big deal to even hold a pen with three fingers. That takes a lot of fine motor skill development, but now it's so ingrained, right? So it is possible to use all these tools in that nice fluid way. Okay, well, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.